watching a documentary here. I think it's called Get Done, Get Dom, and I've just stumbled across this, and just have a listen to what Rick's Association has to say about this. I think that's short for a chartered surveyors. Now listen to what this guy, he's a surveyor, and he's coming and having a look at this shared property.
Peabody has another view. It's been going on for years now, and this will give, I think, both of us peace of mind as to how to move forward.
Enter Jonathan Gillies, a member of the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, who has agreed to take a look around Brendan's flat.
Hello, Brendan. Jonathan Gillies.
Nice to meet you. Come on in.
As Peabody hopefully have a solution for the floor, I'm mainly keen to know what Jonathan thinks of the fascia panels and the windows, which seem prone to condensation.
Do you often find that it happens at any particular point during the day?
Primarily, it will be, if it's cold weather, morning times.
With a flat being so well insulated with modern building techniques, you can often have this issue where warm, moisture air will get against a cold surface, and it will then condensate down the windows.
And condensation can have some unpleasant side effects.
Mould starting to form that's very dusty over here. Now, obviously, this sort of mould, if it starts to build up, can start to have an effect on your health with breathing if it's allowed to build up over time. This flat has a slightly worse problem than we've come across, but it isn't uncommon in modern properties. Anything that's been really built within the last 30 years or so, with modern double glazing especially, has caused these issues.
It's an effect known as cold bridging, and outside Jonathan notices something that could be making the problem worse.
The windows are set quite far forward so that the insulation isn't quite acting as it should do on the external surface of the glass. Windows traditionally are meant to be set quite far into the building where the walls are, so that the insulation within the wall space can actually act as a beneficiary with the design of the windows as well, to stop the cold bridging effect happening against the glass.
It seems the design of the building could be a factor in the condensation. Next, Jonathan inspects the metal fascia panels.
If you look above, you can see that there are holes or screws in the metal fascia just below the lip, and none of them have screws, and that's for the entire length.
The amount of fixings actually in that fascia really aren't adequate. I'd like to get in and take some of that cladding off for us to get a further investigation as to what they've actually fixed the fascia boards to. There you go. I'm actually unscrewing this by hand right now.
That's amazing. I can't believe that.
The problem with a lot of these fixings up here is that they've all been put in at an angle, so the problem that they're going to have is that water's going to be able to flow down here and still get into all of this cladding.
These problems seem to relate to the construction of the building and are not Brendan's responsibility to repair.
Most tenants that buy a lease on a flat are only responsible for the internal parts of their flat. As soon as you start to have an issue with the external common areas, that is really the responsibility of the landlord or freeholder to sort out these problems. I'd say it's more poor construction and not being thought about with somebody signing all of the works off.
Jonathan is going to confirm these findings in writing and will forward them to Peabody Trust. But the issue of who's responsible for what repairs is